Welcome to Secular Soup. Stay tuned for real talk about atheism, feminism, politics, parenting, and whatever the fuck else Amy and Amy want to talk about, because this is their show. And get ready for a whole lot of motherfucking profanity.
You want to hear a secret?
I won't tell anybody. Go ahead. If I sit next to you, I'm going to get gonorrhea. It's going to jump into me. Just two ladies hanging out.
Is it okay for me to make fun of his neck waddle if I make fun of my own neck waddle?
I'm not sure.
That's a real ethical conundrum.
Would you know if you were born a lizard person, or can you be like adopted into the...
I think you know.
We're such professionals.
We really are.
Buckle up, bitches. It's time to have some soup.
I'm Amy with a Y.
And I'm Amy with an I. I'm back.
We're just two blueberries floating in a bowl of tomato soup. And yeah, Amy didn't fall off the planet. She's back.
I'm here.
And I have a confession to make. I may or may not have gotten us into some trouble last week. Just a little bit. Like not a huge amount where we can't do the podcast anymore.
Like,
but
nah.
I may have just caused some problems while you were gone. So
yeah, there was a reason I was like,
throwing that out there.
Way too busy to abortion discussion. Pass.
Oh,
so I'm
my God.
pro-abortion, and it would have turned really ugly real fast.
Mm-hmm.
So
aren't we all pro-abortion?
I mean, not pro-abortion, pro-life. Wait.
Oh yeah, pro-babies.
Whichever.
You're pro not killing the babies, is what you're saying.
Right.
You think they should all? Yeah, you think they should
every
live
life
and
is precious
be forced
and
upon
amazing.
us? Exactly. Yeah. So I get it.
Yeah.
You know, we each have our own point of view.
Right. Some of us are right, and some of us are you.
Exactly. Yeah.
If the guys had just said that, they would have won the argument. Boom.
That's true. But they can't say it with as much authority as you or I can. Like, we sound better when we say it. If they had said it, it would have just sounded ridiculous.
Well, everyone knows that lady voices hold more authority. It's just science. Like, you can't argue with it. Mm-hmm. So
that's why we've been on top for centuries. You know, we rule the world.
Like we rule the world. Girls are in charge of everything. Are overrepresented. Have all to say. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. It's having so much power is exhausting sometimes, honestly. I really wish men would just take over because I just can't. I can't do all of this.
I mean, a man is doing my laundry right now. Does that count?
Maybe. I mean, a little bit. It's not huge, but yeah. So if you haven't gone back and listened to the abortion debate I participated in, go back and listen to the Right to Reason podcast. You'll see something that just says like abortion debate. Oh God.
Recap?
It's so...
I read the threads online.
Way better than the debate, so...
Yeah, I read the threads online. I became best friends with Dallas. Is that his name?
Good.
He doesn't know this yet, but he's basically... Yeah. So, anyone that says girls and then gets like, why are you offended when I call you girls? It's like, because it's not cool.
Yeah. Oh God.
And then,
was so
and then like, he was like, you can call me boy. I'm like, oh my God. Like, that's way not even close to better. Like, that's like, none of these things are okay.
Where do you even start with trying to educate someone about that?
He doesn't think that the word boy is derogatory is because he's a straight white man. Honestly.
Right. Yeah.
That just reeks of privilege right there. Is the term boy is not derogatory. The term girl is not derogatory. Yes, it is. And he had me like, yeah, don't kill babies. Yeah. Cool. Vote for Trump. Awesome. Say the word girl. Oh, you lost me. Yeah. I was on his side.
Lost you at
Team
girls.
Dallas solidly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He lost me at girls.
Yeah. He continued to argue with me on Facebook Messenger for at least a solid week. And I should have just left because I know myself. I know it's just going to suck up all my time because I cannot
start requesting money from him.
I really should. I finally just left the conversation after
request 38 cents.
That's a good idea.
Request more. Yeah, I saw that.
Send me 38 cents and I'll change my mind.
Right.
Yeah. No, I spent a solid
we actually have a theme
arguing
this week
with him
too.
And it got nowhere. Yes, we do.
We have a theme this week. I should do some cursory.
Okay,
Did I hit record? Yeah, I hit record.
I sure hope so. Because that was a full 4 minutes of content that we couldn't have gotten back. So
right, we can't possibly talk about Dallas more.
Oh my God, he's single, ladies. I'm pretty sure he's single. So he really hates me now because we did a whole episode talking shit about him. So I guess I'm gonna have to.
I liked that episode. It was a good one. So yeah, I'm not single again.
I know this, but the listeners don't.
Right. So we had, like, last time I was, like, I think the last thing I said was that Gentleman Caller and I were no longer. Because he basically had this freak out and broke up with me for no reason. Like, there was literally no reason, honestly. I remember I called Amy and you were like, what the fuck? I'm like, I don't even know. So it was like 2 weeks of me trying to, like, figure out what his reason was. And it turns out he was just really, really freaked out and scared about future and everything, and came back and said, you're an all or nothing kind of person. And I wasn't sure I was ready for all because, you know, he's been married before, he's been burned before, you know, me too, I get it. But he came back and said he'd rather have, you know, all than nothing. And so, yeah, there we go. We have, you know, there are discussions to be had, discussions that have been had. And yeah.
I'm not divorced yet, so.
Yeah, so that's that.
I'm still married. That's Nothing's changed there.
Yeah, so
I'm pretty boring.
And the topic we were going to have today, it was my idea, because Amy picked last week and it was solid, but I figured it was something that maybe a little less divisive.
Lots of abortion.
No,
you think abortion is divisive? Really?
You just you know, murdering babies. It's fine.
The only divisive thing about it is, do you take those aborted fetuses and do you cook them in lemon butter, or do you use like more of a garlicky sauce? That seems to be the debate raging online that I've seen. So
obviously,
and it's lemon butter, but
is it?
Whatever.
No, I was going to go with garlic sauce, but I'm allergic to garlic. But I would still eat it until my tongue got swollen. Okay.
Nope.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, what's our topic for this?
I thought so. I had an MRI last week of my shoulder, so they had to put me in. I mean, there's no upside down in the machine. It's just, you know, this way or that way. But they put me in head first, so I had to go all the way in the MRI, and I had to stay there for, they said 20 minutes. That it was going to be 20 minutes. It ended up being 45 because I was shaking so hard that they had to redo like 3 images, and each image is like, you know, a good 5 to 7 minutes, and plus the time in between, and you know, all that nonsense. So I was thinking about fear. There is no reason for me to be scared of an MRI. I mean, I'm claustrophobic. I'm solidly claustrophobic, but there's no reason for me to be claustrophobic to that extent that I'm shaking. I am a grown woman shaking so hard that they are having to redo images because there's the movement artifact on the film. It's dumb, for lack of a better word, for lack of a better, you know, adjective. It's dumb for me to be that scared because I can rationalize. I can look at it and say, I can see the end. I can see my toes. You know, Gentleman Caller was squeezing my feet the whole time. I had the panic button that if I squeezed it, they were instantly going to pull me out of the machine. You know, I was listening to music and, you know, it was fine. I was fine. I was safe. There's no reason other than just fear. But there's some fears that you can't reason yourself out of or rationalize away, no matter how hard you try. Because I am a really rational person and I could not
except for when you're crazy.
Well, yeah, but I could not convince myself that I was fine, that I was safe.
Yeah.
I was trying my damnedest. Like I was like, you're fine. The top is right there. The bottom is right there. It was even an open one. I'm like, you can see out. You can see the wall. I couldn't.
But that's basically what anxiety is. I mean, that's like with my son, when he has panic attacks, he'll tell him, he knows the rational part of his brain is like, this is ridiculous. And I know there's nothing to be afraid of, but that part of his brain is being talked over by the other part of his brain that's freaking the fuck out.
You know, why is it
medical science is letting us down?
Well, I mean, I blame God. But no,
That's true.
Why is it still a thing? Like, why are we still, like the other day, for example, I leave for work at like 5 a.m. because I work fucking far and I have to be at work by 7 a.m. So I was leaving my bedroom and I came into like the living room area and there was a shadow along the wall that looked like someone just standing there. 5 a.m. What are the odds? You know, honestly, someone's just going to be standing in the living room. It's dumb. So I reached back into the room and flipped on the switch and it was just a broom leaning and like.
It wasn't a ghost?
And then there was like a box on the desk next to it. And then there was like someone had thrown their jacket over the box. So it just kind of like the way the shadows were lined up from like the moon outside or whatever. And so I turned the light back off and I just went on my way and went downstairs and, you know, whatever. It's fine. It's perfectly fine. But why was my first thought person standing?
Because
that doesn't make any sense.
human brains are trained to look for patterns. Like, well, so yes. If you see that, and that's just a well-known phenomenon. My thought is that it was definitely a ghost. And when you flip the light on, it ran away quick and just tricked you into believing that it was just the broom, but it was definitely a fucking ghost. So you need to get an exorcism done on that house because
we're moving in like 3 weeks. It's fine.
All right.
It's fine.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking is just why we're rational people, we're rational creatures. And I understand anxiety. I have anxiety like constantly. But why is it something that still exists to that extent where it is overtaking me physically? It's making me sick. It's making me shake. It's making me just terrified, like immobile.
Yeah.
When I know all of the things in my brain.
So I took my youngest to the dentist the other day. And we, because I'm a shitty parent, haven't been to the dentist in probably 2 or 3 years.
What's a dentist?
Yeah, I'm very lax in scheduling dental appointments. But finally, I'm like, fuck, we all have to go to the dentist. I've been putting this off long enough. We just gotta do it. So I made appointments for me and my 2 children all at the same time. My husband is a grown-up and he can make his own fucking appointment if he wants to go see a dentist. Sure. But me and my 2 kids, I'm like, the 3 of us all need to go. So they had set up the appointments for all 3 of us at the same time. So I called my mom and I'm like, hey, can you come with? Because our younger kid, the 9-year-old, I'm like, he's freaking out about it. And I don't want to, if we're all having stuff done at the same time and I can't be there with him, I'd rather have you go back with him and try to keep him calm. And so she came with, but so he was doing okay. Like I knew he didn't want to go, but I bribed him and said we could go to McDonald's afterwards if we would just go and he would deal with it. And so he was trying to be tough. And my 15-year-old was kind of trying to keep him relaxed. Well, they called him back first before the other 2 of us. So he went back there with my mom. After about 5 minutes, they come out and get me and they're like, yeah, we're not ready for your cleaning yet, but we need you to come back because we want to go ahead and do your x-ray just so your son can watch. Because we think maybe if he watches you, then he won't be as upset as he is right now.
Are they charging you for that one? For that lovely experience? Okay.
They had to do it either way. So it was just, they're like, instead of just, you come back and we'll just get yours done. So I go back there and my son the front of his shirt is soaking wet from sobbing. He had the shirt pulled up over his eyes and it was just soaking and my mom's standing there with him and he's just hyperventilating and I can't. So I'm like, okay, I said, I'm going to get it done. You can watch. It's not hard at all. And I, gave him a thumbs up. I did the whole thing. I'm like, that did not hurt at all. It's fine. They showed him, like the staff there was fantastic. The staff was showing him the x-ray. They're like, see, look, that's your mom's teeth. And then, we'll do that with you and it'll. So yeah, no, that helped nothing. He still wouldn't do it. And I'm sitting there trying to forcibly shove him forward to go towards it and he would not do it. And I tried the very calm and rational approach. Like, I'll hold your hand the whole time. I'll be right here. Nothing's going to happen. I promise you it's not going to hurt. I wouldn't lie to you about this. It's not going to hurt. I tried getting out the stern voice. Like, we need to do this. Other people are waiting.
I don't want to hang out.
We need to get it done. Like these people have lives. They need to go home at some point. We can't be here all day waiting. You just need to do it. It's just, and that would just make him more upset.
Unlike your teachers, they don't live here.
Yeah, it's really, really bad. So then he still wouldn't do it. So we had my 15-year-old come back and get his x-ray done so we could watch him do it. And still didn't care. Apparently he had told my mom that he was afraid to do the x-ray because he knew that after they did the x-ray, they were going to put him in the chair. And the chair is what scared him. The stuff they do in the chair. And so, there's me and my mom and the dental hygienist, and we're all trying to very calmly, we're not going to do anything that hurts. We'll show you everything we're doing here. We'll let you touch, This kid was not fucking having it. He sobbed and cried and just, they couldn't do anything. Like, they've managed to get the x-ray after about half an hour. They finally just got me and they're like, we better start your cleaning because they couldn't start on his. And so I could hear him. I'm in my chair getting my cleaning done. And eventually they finally coaxed him into getting the x-ray and they managed to count his teeth. And I think they managed to do a little bit of the spraying the water on them with the suction thing. And the dentist came back and figured out that he had no cavities, but they could not do the polish or the scrape. So I emailed his doctor today and just said, yeah, my kid freaked the fuck out. Is there any way that the next time we go back, I could get some sedation for him? And while we're on the topic, do you think it would be possible to get some sedation for haircuts as well? I know it's an odd request, but I'm asking anyway because it would make my life so much easier because this child has an irrational fear of haircuts that is not getting better with age. And you can rationalize it with him. Like, it's not going to hurt. Here's what I'm doing.
He's scared of losing parts of his body.
He's scared of getting cut with the scissors. Yeah. He's sure that even after all these years, I'm going to cut him.
That's happened to me before. I had a cartilage earring at the top of my ear. Mm-hmm. And there was one time that the hair masseuse, I don't really know the terminology.
Hairstylist?
No, that's very gendered though.
Is it stewardess? Oh wait, that's the people on the plane. Sorry. Yeah. Hairstylist is totally gender neutral.
That's the babes on the plane.
That's right. Okay.
So yeah, the hairstylist, and I actually freaking love my hairstylist. She's the best. But no, this is one years and years and years ago, and she was doing something, and she was trying to avoid my earrings on the bottom of my ear, and she was just doing something, and she flipped the scissors or the comb. It was probably the comb, and it caught the back of my earring, and it just pulled just right that it just started bleeding. It didn't break, it didn't tear or anything because it was a freaking cartilage, but it popped and it hurt so bad. And so I always, from then on, I take all my earrings out. Although I don't have any fun fancy earrings anymore because I'm not as cool as I used to be, apparently.
Right. So, well, that's what happens.
Yeah. Well, actually, I had babies and they would sit there and flick it and I would get infections constantly.
Not only that, babies love to pull on earrings.
Yeah, I didn't wear earrings when I had babies ever.
Oh, man. I made the mistake of wearing earrings, and kids will grab that shit and pull it right out of your ear.
Yep, they will. They will.
Anyway.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I will. At some point, I'll get cartilage piercing again. I just don't have the cash monies for that yet.
You don't have any money? That's weird.
No money.
I don't know what that's like.
I just applied for a second job, though, and so far, it's, going to be fine. I think it's going to be okay. Good. So, and then, I'm trying to work from home again because I'm really tired of wearing pants.
Oh, God, pants are the worst.
Yeah. So, I mean, I did all of the tech scans and all of that stuff, so I think I'm going to be okay. So, okay, back to fear. Good. Sorry. I told the doctor, I went to the doctor today because he was going over the MRI results with me after work today, which is why we're recording later than I wanted to. But I went, I talked to him about it and told him, it made me think, I said, because they were talking about the artifacts, the movement artifacts and how they had to redo the scans. And I was like, yeah, I was real scared and I was shaking. And I was like, which got me thinking about fear and how it's irrational because I knew I was safe. Like, I didn't talk about the show or anything. I just told him that, my thought process. And he was like, totally understand. I'm afraid of heights. And I was like, really? And he was like, yeah, I know I'm not going to fall. I know I'm not going to jump, but I am terrified to even go to the edge and look over. He's like, I will stand 5 feet back and just kind of glance and be like, I'm good. It's great. I'm good here. Right here's my safe spot. Mm-hmm. And he was like, it's completely irrational. I am 100%, I know that if I go to the rail, I'm not going to die. Mm-hmm. But I cannot convince my brain of that. I was like, exactly. Yeah. And he was like, that's how you were in the MRI probably. I'm like, it's exactly. I was just convinced that I was suffocating. That I was suffocating.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and there's such a thing as, muscle memory and things that even you're not consciously thinking about it, but you're still, it's like your body remember. With my son with the dentist, he had 2 different surgeries on his tongue, getting a tongue growth removed. So if you think about it, it makes sense that people go near his mouth and he loses a part of it and he has to be sedated and put under anesthesia and wakes up and he's, I'm sure he's got all kinds of bad associations with it. Plus, it does not help that maybe a month or 2 ago, they had some program at school where they were having dentists come in to the school and you could sign your kid in for a slot and they could just do the cleaning right there. And I'm like, well, fuck, I don't have to drive him to the dentist. This is going to be perfect. They can do it right at school.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. That was a mistake. I think that I first of all I forgot to tell him it was going to happen. I didn't know what day they were doing it on, so I didn't warn him ahead of time. So I'm sure in the middle of class, somebody came and just got him and brought him to the fucking gym or wherever they were doing it and put him in a chair and started trying to work on his teeth. And he just, they sent home a slip that said we were unable to do anything with your son's teeth. And he came home just, Mom, don't ever do that to me again. I'm never ever doing
Poor
that
kid.
again. And I thought, oh, that would really suck to get pulled out of class not knowing it's coming, just to be put into a dental chair and have people start poking at your
music program.
I know.
Maybe they're giving
it's not a dentist he's met.
Accommodation from the city, like mayor's giving you a key. Who knows?
Could be anything. Yeah.
Nope. It's the dentist. Oh, and the gynecologist, just fine.
Oh my God.
I mean, not for him, obviously, but
This is why I get Valium every time I go to the gynecologist. I have a cool doctor and she just gives me Valium. Every time I have an appointment, I'm like, hey,
That's
she hooked me up and she gives me like 2 pills. I don't get a whole prescription, but she'll give me like 2 pills so that I can take it right before my appointment. Because why don't they do that more for more things? Like, why should going and getting procedures done that make you that uncomfortable, why should it be so fucking horrible? We have medications to help.
So I flop sweat when I'm nervous, like horrifically flop sweat.
Very ladylike, yes.
Right. And it's always in like really ladylike places like my ass. And so I'm sitting there, I'm like crouched, or not crouched down, but I'm like on the gynecological exam table with paper, and the whole bottom half of the paper is just dripping with sweat because I am sweating from the middle of my back down. It's like reacting to where they're going to touch. Like if I were nervous about, like something with my arms, I'd probably be sweating in my armpits and my butt. I don't know why I'm a butt sweater, but I am.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's like, why are you doing this? And I always feel like I'm apologizing, but I mean, they're the ones that went to school. They are the ones that chose to put their hands. So.
Yeah, like you couldn't pay me enough to be a gynecologist. No, thank you. They spend all day in people's business, just I am sure I'm not
the only ass flop sweater. I'm sure of it.
And think of, people have different hygiene standards. There are people who just don't give a shit.
Super, super clean.
Oh, before I go there, I'm like gonna soak and just I'm gonna go as clean as I possibly can just to be nice to the nurse practitioner. But yeah, several years ago, I figured out I just can't, I would put off appointments because it makes me that fucking nervous, and it's painful because I'm so nervous because I can't relax. And if you own a vagina, you know that. Yeah,
they are very. If you're really, really clenched, So they knocked me out when I had a biopsy about 2 years ago or so. And they had to knock me out so the biopsy I was awake for, the cone biopsy of the cervix, fucking hurt. That hurt worse than procedures I've had done on that region. The cone biopsy, because that was prior to my ablation. They wanted to find out the thickness of the uterine wall and all of that stuff for other male listeners. And so they wanted to find out all that stuff, and the biopsy really, really hurt. But luckily they wrote me a prescription for pain pills, and I got a bottle of wine, and so I just, mixed alcohol and pain pills like you're supposed to.
As you should, yes.
On the label.
That's how they're more effective. Everybody knows they work better that way. So
exactly. It says it right on the label. It says
common knowledge.
Pairs well with a red wine. I'm like way ahead of you, bro.
Yeah.
And so when I went a week later for the actual procedure, the doctor was like, we had trouble with the biopsy. I'm like, yeah, bro, because I clenched so tight they couldn't move the instrument because of nerves, not intentionally. Yeah. And so he completely knocked me under. Like, nice. I was 100% sedated. I asked him, I said, so did you have any problems? And he was like, no. Because, so I have trouble. The thing they always have trouble with is, we reached TMI
Nobody's listening to this. It's fine.
I know. It's fine. So I can't open my legs wide enough because I stay like in like a tight V. And then, I literally can't. Like, I can't, and I'm clenched. Everything's tight. And he was like, yeah, your legs fell right open. Everything was loose. I'm like, thank you. Like, I don't know what to say to that. Like, I mean, I really appreciate that I was so accommodating. I don't really know what to say to that. I don't know, but you're welcome.
Oh my God. Yeah. I had to get a procedure done on my bladder, and they were like, we usually I'm like, if you want me to do that, you're going to have to knock me the fuck out.
Oh, There's for sure.
No way. I'm like, no, you're going to have to bring me to the surgery center and knock me out, because I will not, there is no way I will get through you feeding an instrument through my urethra. Like, no.
Through your urethra.
Just knock me the fuck out. Nope.
Yeah,
no.
Nope. Can't do it.
I don't know how more people don't have a hard time with pap smears and pelvic exams. And like,
most of the pap smears I'm so okay with,
terrifying.
Aside from the flop sweat.
Ugh, no, I hate all of it.
It's so gross. Like, I can feel myself sweating, and I'm willing myself. It's the same thing with my fear. I'm like, shh.
And it just gets worse. Yeah.
Yes, because then I'm sitting there worried about it. And so I'm sitting there like freaking out that I'm, soaking the couch ahead of time. Like, oh.
It's like when they tell you, just scoot forward and relax. How the fuck am I supposed to relax?
How am I not single, ladies?
And like they'll start getting like snippety with you if you're not relaxing. Like you're not helping me relax by being a bitch about it.
Well,
like
mine's cool.
You need to relax.
I've had the same OB for, 13 years, so he's real cool. But, yeah,
I've had the same person since I was 16, and she finally retired for good. So I just don't ever want to go. I'm just going to have to leave my IUD in for the rest of my life because I don't want to go find somebody new. This woman has been the only person to touch my lady business other than people I'm having sex with.
So
since I was 16.
I had this, I've already told you the IUD story. I'm not going to refresh that.
We're all going to.
Okay, so fear. So I talked to my mother.
If you tell that again.
After. Yeah, I'm not going to tell this. So I talked to my mother. I talked about a cone biopsy. That's bad enough. No, I talked to my mother on the way home from the doctor today because I got the doctor's story. I was like, that's cool. And so I asked my mother. I told her the same thing. I told her I'm recording because, my atheist podcast. To my Mormon mother, I always like, bringing it up.
It's fun. Mm-hmm.
So I was like, I'm talking about fear. And she was like, well, sometimes it's really helpful. And I knew she was going to talk about that it was the spirit talking to you, but she didn't go there with me, which is good because she didn't, she was being respectful of my, beliefs. But she was like, how many times have people come out of a bar? Of course, she said bar, and felt like someone is crouched behind their car, with the intent of harming them, or someone is in a back alley and they don't want to walk home. So they go back inside and ask for someone to call a ride or someone to walk out with them. And lo and behold, someone's actually crouched behind their car and it saves their life. And I said, absolutely, that happens. Absolutely. 100% that example happens. Like if you're walking down the street and you feel like someone is chasing you or following you and you pick up your pace and you actually, avoid harm. Happens. And right. I told her that. I was like, that absolutely does happen. But how many times do you feel like something is crouched in the dark and there's nothing there? And she was like, well, yeah. I was like, that side way outweighs this little sliver of times that there was actually something there.
Right.
It's laughably outnumbered. The sheer volume. Of course, you like I told you, you red light. She's red lighting it where she's just picking out the examples of, it saved her life. It saved his life. It saved this life. It saved that one.
Right.
Because it's, the spirit. It's because it's divine intervention. Not thinking about all of those times where it's like you flip on the light and it's just a freaking, chair.
Yeah.
Not some dude in your house. How many times
or a ghost.
Actually, it's not a ghost. We
could be.
Agree to disagree. How many times is it actually someone there?
Yeah.
Like it's just not. That our brains are still wired to look for fear or look for danger everywhere, like constantly.
Well, it's fight or flight, It's
right.
when you, especially when you have anxiety, it's an overreacting.
Still animals.
Yeah, we're just monkeys in boots.
Like we're
really all
we
are
animals, and we are so used to being prey. Like our ancestors were just in danger constantly. Everything, especially women, I'm sure, especially women. We were always, everybody was out to attack us, eat us, kill us, make us have their babies, whatever, like constantly. And so there's danger everywhere. And even if it's just a broom, it's probably there to kill you. Like it's like a murder broom.
Which is why you need at least one AK-57 in your house.
I live in Texas. They issue it when you move into the state.
The only thing that stops a bad broom with a gun is a good girl with a gun, I guess. Is that how the saying goes? I don't know.
Well, it's because it's cleaning equipment.
Okay.
So ladies are the only ones who can actually kill.
Well, we're the only ones who know how to use it. You know how you're born with this like innate knowledge of sweeping,
like a silver spoon in one hand and a broom in the other.
Exactly. Like I just knew from the time I was little. Oh, this is how you vacuum. Oh, this is how you sort laundry. Like it just kind of comes pre-built in,
right?
Which is
this is
helpful,
how you bond with
a
baby. Easy.
Exactly.
So
yes.
This is how you breastfeed.
Is how you take care of an infant.
You show them your breast, and they're just latched right on, and everything's cool, and everything's great. Yeah. And no one needs help.
This is what you do when a 2-year-old is screaming. Oh, good. I'm glad I know those things.
I had this rant the other day. It was this irrational rant. Speaking of irrationalities, is that racist? Irrational?
Am
I attacking the state of rationale? I don't. Okay, sorry.
We'll let the listeners decide.
Well, because irrationality sounds like a national.
Okay.
That's why.
I get it.
No, they're not all winners.
No.
I went on this irrational rant the other day because it was really, really hard for me to breastfeed, like really hard. And I got books and I talked to lactation consultants and I did, I went through the whole rigmarole. That's different. Rigmarole. Rigor mortis.
Not rigor
is
mortis. Rigor mortis is totally different. Yeah.
That's hot.
You don't want that.
Okay. Again, agree to disagree. We're back to Ghost. So yeah, I had this irrational thing where I was like furious at women that just give up. But that's not fair.
No.
Because not everyone is in the same place or the same mindset, or they have postpartum, or they have all these other things going on that they can't dedicate the time or mental capacity or whatever to doing what I did.
Yeah.
And, I was lucky that I was able to do that. And I breastfed my daughter for, 3.5 years, which is awesome. But that doesn't mean she's better and I'm better and whatever. Like it was hard because then I didn't have help in feeding her. I mean, not that I would have had a whole lot of help anyway, but.
Then you have me who just didn't bother breastfeeding either one of them, which at least I had a convenient excuse. It was the medication I was on.
Right.
But quite honestly, that's a good excuse. I didn't want to, I had no desire to breastfeed. It never happened.
It's the same reason I had my third C-section.
Yeah.
I could have had her naturally, probably, but
you just got to try harder.
Why mess it up at this? Exactly. Then there are women that are like, why didn't you go for it? Why didn't you go for the natural? Why didn't you try? Everybody can have that. They can flip over that milk carton and stand on it. And it was like this rant I went on, and I was telling it to Gentleman Colin. He just looked at me. He was like, nope. He was like, no, that's not cool. And I was like, you're right. But I was still so mad. And he was like, yeah, no. He was like, I don't agree with anything you just did there. I was livid.
Being irrational is fun.
It really, really, in the moment.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I ever told you the story. So I think maybe I did. I can't remember. We were driving down the road one day. Yeah. We were driving down the road one day and we saw this, this black Cadillac or something. It was like this nice car. And it had like a custom license plate that was something accountant or, love accounting or something accountant related.
So a total nerd is what you're saying.
Right. And I was like, look at that guy, cool. Like, look at that guy. That's cool. Like he got his own license plate, whatever. And I kept saying like, look at him, look at that, that's cool. Yeah. And Gentleman Caller, he was like, yeah, okay. He's like, you instantly assume it's a guy. I was like, oh, honey, come on. It's a sleek car. It's, nerdy license plate. It's accounting, Okay. We pull up next to it. Young black woman.
Oh my gosh.
You
felt like shit.
And he was laughing so hard. He was like, see?
Yeah.
Can't make assumptions like that. I was like, maybe. He was like, nope, there's no coming back from that. I was like, I know. I felt so bad. Because why? Why did I instantly assume that? That's,
because I think all of our experience tells us to expect that. And I think you can't, I think it's good once in a while to be reminded.
Honestly, she got that license plate to tell everybody, I am an attractive young black woman.
Yeah.
And I'm a fucking accountant and I afforded this car.
Yeah. I would be proud of that too.
Yeah.
Just being able to afford a personalized license plate would be awesome at this point in my life, but
I'm waiting. So I have new license plates to put on my car, but I'm waiting to be able to afford the license plate covers. So, I mean, it's low.
Yeah.
Low. Yeah. I have 20 more
very
days.
Low bar in my life these days. I was so this is totally unrelated, but my mother bought me, because she is always going to auctions and garage sales and shit for her thrift shop. She found, I've been looking for one of those little Cricut machines that you can cut vinyl lettering out with, because I could use it to make the mugs and all the shit that we sell in Delightful Bitchcraft, but I don't want to pay full price, so I've had her looking out for one. She finally found one pretty cheap in really good condition, like, I don't know, a month or two ago. I just today finally took it out of the box to figure out how it works, and I got the software set up and I was all ready to go. Nice. Then I find out it's a fucking older model that is worthless. You cannot use it because the Cricut company...
It's incompatible with all the new...
It's incompatible with their new software. Yeah, it's worthless. You can't even use it with...
Can you download old software?
Nope. Nope. Cricut only lets you use it online. So you download their software, but you have to use it through their website. You have to... I did a lot of fucking reading on this today, and it turns out it's a real scam, but you have to pay for every little font products you use of theirs. And literally, it's one of the websites I read said this particular machine, it's the Cricut Mini, is now a worthless piece of electronics. You can't use it with any other software.
That's super frustrating.
Like, what a bunch of horseshit.
Why would they do that though? Because it's still a viable machine. They just want people to have to buy the new model.
Yeah, exactly. And the new model is, $250. So I have
at least.
I was all excited today going,
yes, yeah, finally.
I'm all excited going, I can finally cut all this vinyl so and I have all these ideas and I make mugs. Oh, I was pissed. Anyway, so watch it when you buy Cricut machines. Those people are bastards. And
add them to the Best Buy list.
If any of you crafters out there have suggestions on a good vinyl cutting machine that I don't have to have a racket from the company that is only,
Okay.
Hit me up with your ideas.
This is extreme and it's kind of far-fetched, but have you ever heard of X-Acto knives?
I have, but they seem complicated. So
okay. No, I understand. They're real. No. It's real tricky.
Yeah. No, I actually I have an entire case
back
of
in the
them.
Day. Me too. I have different sizes. Please.
Yep. I've got, it looks like a murder kit. I've got the whole thing.
Me too.
With different.
Me too. Like you open up a wooden box like
exactly.
Dexter.
Yep.
No, so back in the day when my 13-year-old was a baby, I was like, I'm going to create, toy boxes for my kid. And so I bought those unfinished wooden crates from like Michael's or, Hobby Lobby or wherever. And I painted them all and I got paper, just, whatever, colored contact paper or whatever. And I opened up scissors. Right. I didn't even have X-Acto knives then. And I opened up scissors and I cut out letter by letter that I'd hand drawn to make the wording on everything. And then like a year later, I discovered that Cricut exists. And I was like, wow, I basically invented it. I felt like in my own way. We've all been there.
Well, the thing is, like all these mugs and shit that I make, I'm hand painting those bitches and it takes time. Like it's hard and it takes time and you screw it up and you have to start over. If I had a little vinyl cutter, I could whip this shit out assembly line style and be selling all kinds, and it would look better than the hand painting I'm doing. So
you get arrested for whipping
moral
things
of the
out,
story
though.
is that's true. Moral of the story is I have to beg my mother for $200 to buy a new vinyl cutter machine so I can actually do something with it. But
makes sense.
Thoughts and prayers. Pray for me on that.
Hashtag blessed.
See if it helps.
So I have two work stories real fast. Real fast.
Okay. Yes.
Real fast.
Real fast.
No. So, and then we can, you can do your story and then we can wrap it up. Whatever. So,
perfect.
There's there's one person at work that listens to the show now because I can't keep my damn mouth shut.
Exactly.
She sits right in front of me and we have we have cubicles that have like half the top half is glass. So when I'm sitting at my desk, I can just see her all day. And she does this thing where she, maintains hard eye contact when she's eating fruit. It's weird, but it cracks me up every time because she's doing it to make me uncomfortable. But she listens to the show and I had her listen to one show and she was maintaining eye contact as she was listening to the show.
Oh my God.
I was like, I feel attacked because this is really uncomfortable. Right. Because she was like, she made a big show of putting her headphones on and then turning her phone around so I could see it and then hitting play. Like it was all slow motion and just for the purpose of making it was so fun. But today she told me, this was like a week and a half ago. And today she told me that she's still listening. She was like, yeah, I've, gone back, listened to a couple other episodes. I'm still listening. Because I told her I was recording tonight and she was like, cool, new episode. I'm like, what? And she was like, yeah, I'm still listening. Wow. That's, you never expect people to come back to the scene of the crime.
I really don't. No.
No, but she...
Yeah, I saw two of my friends yesterday and they both admitted they don't listen. And I don't blame them.
I live with someone who does.
Oh, so do I.
He was like, what? Why are you even, why are we still in a serious relationship? I'm not even a patron of your show. Like, it was
my
silly.
husband has never heard a single episode.
That's fine. It's fine. It's probably for the best.
This is my life, not his. Anyway.
Exactly. It's probably for the best. So anyway, today she was just looking at me and, I dress very conservative. We've talked about this before. I dress very conservatively. My hair is up in a bun and, I wear very little makeup or none most of the time. And she just looked at me and she was like, when I first met you, she was kind of like talking about, the first impressions. She was like, you're funny. She was like, other Amy's funny too. You guys are funny. She was like, you don't look. And I was like, what does that even mean? She was like, when I met you, I had no idea. You don't look the way your personality is. And I was like, what does that mean? And she was like, you just don't. And she went into this whole thing about how I look uptight. and conservative.
Mm-hmm. I can see
and
that.
not funny. Mm-hmm. And I was like, really? Yeah. And she was like, but you're funny. It's a compliment. I'm like, okay, thank you. Like, I don't know what to say, but thank you.
Oh. Yeah, I've been told that I look like a stone cold bitch. So
right.
I would imagine people who are just looking at me who don't know me just think I am the bitchiest woman on the planet
and
if they don't hear me talking. And then they meet me and I'm delightful.
And they realize it's the universe, not just the planet.
They realize how wrong they were to prejudge me based on my resting bitch face because I am delightful.
No, I'm basing this on the fact that you decline calls from me. You sit there and stare at the phone.
I do. It's really fun.
Crunchy cereal instead of letting it get soggy like everybody else.
Well, and it's nice because a picture of you pops up while it's ringing because I've got a picture of you in it. So it's like you're staring at me.
Is it a good picture? I don't even know.
I stole it from your Facebook, but you're basically staring at me while it's ringing. So it's extra layer of creepy.
Depends
on
which picture. Who knows? I go through moods.
It's a decent picture.
How could I have that one as my picture?
Ooh, it's fine.
Who is that?
I mean, I can change it if it makes you happy, but yeah, I think
my picture of you is still that guy holding the alligator above his head. Because that is the best picture ever.
That really is a pretty good picture.
It's such a good picture.
I'm going to have to change mine if you know.
Like, that's so great. And then it says, it's like all A's and H's.
Yeah.
Because in my last car that was wrecked, it would just show it across the screen and it looked like my car was screaming at me, which I thought was fun.
That is
now
fun.
It doesn't do that because I have an older model car. So
you're still called Other Amy on my phone with the emoji of the two twin tap dancers right after it. It's adorable.
That's fantastic. You have apples everywhere. I don't know why.
Yeah. We were going to try to wrap up. The only other interesting that has happened to me this week is that my son got his back brace for scoliosis, and it turns out he hates it and doesn't think he can wear it until he's 16 and wants us to just let him have surgery. So good fucking times being a parent. We get to go back down to Minneapolis next week to have that fucker adjusted some more to see if we can get it to be at least kind of comfortable so he'll wear it because his back is all kinds of fucked up. So my kids are doing great. Just wanted to let everyone know that. They're not hot messes at all. I have decided, instead of reading our patrons by tier level, I'm just going to read through all the patrons because I take half an hour to read these and it's just ridiculous. So, we have...
And I have places to go and boys to beat. I know you have
important things to do. So.
Actually, I've been playing free roll poker with Gentleman Caller, and I kick ass. I don't know what I'm doing ever, which he actually says that I know just enough, but not enough to be scary because I don't know when to be scared. So I go in there being like, yeah, that's right. But I don't know that I should be scared with the hand that I have based on what's on the board. I have no idea what I'm doing. And I send all of these guys that are like, poker players off the board because I just am betting 1,500 and I don't know what I'm doing. And they run away. So it's fun.
Well, I have an episode of The Handmaid's Tale to get back to because that's back on Hulu.
Started that.
Yeah,
I need to do that.
They released the first 3 and I'm on episode 3 now. But okay, so if you are a new listener and want to give us money,
I need a job from home.
So you can play more poker? So you can watch more
television while working.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so if you're a new listener, I don't know why you'd want to give us money after this episode, but whatever. We would love to have your money because our patrons are amazing and we consider them family.
Fear is an interesting topic, so shut that up.
Yes. And Amy personally goes out and sleeps with every one of our patrons, so there's bonuses to signing up.
If I've missed any of you, please send a dick pic to Amy with a Y.
And then I'll send it to your mother. Their mother,
even if
not
you do
your
not
mother,
possess
Amy.
one, you can find them on the internet, I'm sure. I haven't searched for them.
Yeah, there's so many of them out there. So in addition to our regular patrons, which I will read in just a moment, I have created a money pool at our Secular Soup PayPal account that will specifically be dedicated to the Skepticon trip because we're going to Skepticon in August and it's coming up quickly and I look at how much money we have and I think, no, we need more money than that if we're going to rent hotel rooms and we're going to eat and we're going to pitch in for gas and all this shit. So the deal is I made this money pool. For every $5 people contribute, I will send you one of our bonus episodes that only patrons usually get. So if you have been wanting to give us some money, but you don't want that commitment of every single month, which I totally get, some people don't like commitment, then you could just send us a quick $5 and I will send you one of our many bonus episodes. Donate another $5, you'll get another one. We're going to work this out. We'll figure it out. But I will link it on all of the social medias and shit. So, but thank you to our regular patrons who do commit and are wonderful. We have got Triss, Mind Your Own Uterus, which is a fantastic name. Jesse, Dumb All Over Podcast, which I just heard today is folding. They are no more. They're closing down shop. They're going to start some other kind of podcast, but Dumb All Over is dumb no more. They've done their last episode, so that sucks. I hope they keep giving us money, but I doubt it. We've also got Dino, Kristen, Cowbell, Stephen and Cindy, Nathan Dickey, Kimberly, Rebecca Verlaine, Sarah, Liz. Why do I say Sarah? It looks like Sarah, but it's pronounced Sarah. I know because I know her in real life. Liz Satan, Toshby, who sent me a message and now I can't fucking remember what it said, who actually did send me the message on how to pronounce it, and I'm totally blanking and I can't even find the message. So I'm going to pronounce it correctly next week because I'm a really bad podcaster. So thank you so much. I did get your message. I just literally didn't. I'm bad. I'm a bad person. We've got Matt from Canada. We've got Andy, who is now trolling Dallas on Facebook, which is my favorite new thing ever. You can always count on Andy to be a troll for the forces of good. We've got Jeannie. We've got Sarah, Elvin Engineer, Freethinker 215, and Marge Simpson support the Free Thought Society. Freethinker 215 sent us a message that I just replied to also, and he was confused about why I kept saying, I don't think that's your Christian name. And it occurred to me that not everybody may know that term Christian name because maybe it's too old timey. I don't know. But Christian name is like the name you get when you're baptized. And so if people say that's not your Christian name, they mean you're giving someone a nickname. It's a whole thing. Just Google it. It's fun. I'm probably old and that's why I use it. So we've also got Alan, Jerry, Marissa Alexa McCool, Dr. Dylan, Medical Detective, Alice at the Ask and Tell Project, askandtell.com, Larry Yellingman, Keith, who I know on Twitter, and he seems cool.
Nice.
We've also got Wendy, whose bowl is halfway done. Getting there. It's getting close. Yesh, and 15th Favorite Rich. Totally arbitrary number. I'm just going to go with 15 because it's multiples of 5. We've also got, let's see, our top patrons, $20 a month or more. We've got Miss Ashley, our absolute favorite person in the world. We've got Randall, our also kind of favorite, but Ashley's still more favorite because she's a lady. So you got to deal with that, Randall. I don't know what to tell you.
It's uterus, not uter you. You know
exactly. This. Oh, before I mention the last two, that was the other thing. Freethinker 215 increased his pledge again. Now he's at $4.20.
That's fantastic.
I don't think there's any meaning to that number, but whatever. Thank you so much.
Cool.
It's noticed and appreciated. Top 2 patrons, we've got Nathan at $30 a month, and last but very much least, No More White Dudes in Government 2020 at $30.02.
I agree with that statement, though.
I know, right? No more white dudes in government 2020.
I'm the worst, and when we go to his house, I'm going to rob him.
I'm
saying it here. I'm saying it, and he still invited us to dinner. I don't know what's wrong with him.
He's probably got good stuff we can rob too. I bet he's got fancy new computers, and I'm gonna cough my Crohn's disease all over the house and just get it on all the surfaces just to pay him back.
All right.
So those are our patrons. Thank you so much. If you don't want the hassle and commitment of pledging once a month, but you still want to help us get to Skepticon, go to PayPal. Secular Soup, PayPal, I don't know. I'll link that shit. There's a money pool. It's great. We would love it if you gave to it. Give you some bonus episodes. Amy, take it away so you can go play poker.
And that's all we've got for now. Thanks to all our fabulous listeners who put up with us droning on week after week. If you enjoy our delightful bitchcraft, please like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, and send us all your monies on Patreon. You can find us on those platforms by using the Google machine. It's not hard. This week, your donations will go to So Much Therapy for Amy's son because the dentist is scary.
Oh my God. He's going to need all the therapy.
Seriously, it's scary. I remember being scared. I locked myself in the bathroom when I was a kid. I get it. If you want to tell the world how awful this episode was, join our Secret Soup Talk Facebook group. If you want to tell us to fuck off personally, you can send an email to secularsouppodcast@gmail.com. Now accepting dick pics. Please rate and review us on iTunes, Facebook, and wherever else you can review things like this. It will help us spread the soup gospel far and wide. And hey, tell your friends. As always, we'll leave you with the vocal stylings of Mr. Eli Bosnick.
Secular Soup Creed. Soup is the ultimate virtue. It's delicious, nutritious, patriarchy smashing, racism fighting, warm and fuzzy, human affirming, fun having, anti-theist, glitter throwing, tummy satisfying, pair of new shoes fulfilling, diversity seeking, happiness, minestrone, beef and barley, chicken broth and split pea, gazpacho, tomato, clam chowder and potato, chicken noodle, beef noodle, egg drop and ramen cup, miso, gumbo, leek and pho, Grab a bowl and taste the magic. Slurp even this.